How are we all doing tonight? I hope everyone is fine. I'm doing good. As I told Metal and I told people this afternoon on High Noon, I got my Indiegogo money. So I'm just waiting for 2 pieces from other people. I'm going to do one myself up probably tomorrow. I'm going to do it on After Dark tomorrow as one of my characters, and I've got to figure out which other character, all my characters, I want to put in as well. So hopefully within a week I will be able to send it to the printers. So that is good, although nobody's here to hear this except for Metal and my mom. Oh yeah, I should be sharing.
Which I'm assuming she already knows all this. It'd be weird if she didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, she knew like within about 5 seconds of me getting the money.
Yeah, and then she had to hear about it again at high noon. And
yeah, well, I
if she doesn't know by now.
Yeah, I think I went into a little bit more detail on high noon, although I've probably been I went into a little bit different detail, I think, right here, right now. But, I forget exactly what I said, besides I got the money. Which, I was overjoyed about. That means, the Canadian Shield and number 2 and Snowdrift number 1 I can do on Indiegogo. And I just got to raise it in Canadian funds. So, that is, of course, good. Tonight, however, Mallet's been pestering me a little bit about doing some public domain characters. So, just for fun, I'm going to draw up some public domain characters.
You have anyone in mind?
Well, I brought up a few of the women, but I figured I'd draw one that's got the same name as one of my characters. But the look is completely different, and I'm getting my stuff off Free Universe My Art Online.
Yeah.
Their heroes and villains section. They've got creatures, Paul World, elements, movie, TV stuff. Hey, Rabias, how are you? So I'm going to put a link to that in the chat for anybody that's...
Yeah, that's a weird thing, right? Because when I think public domain, and I know a lot of things that are public domain, because it's pretty much everything before 1850. Some things even after that, like some things prior to 1923 are all public domain, but anything before 1850 you're just like 100% safe on.
Yeah.
And
so
there's a lot of novel characters that are like really popular, Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, stuff like that are all public domain, but my mind just immediately jumps to classic mythology.
Yeah. What other stuff is... Well, Archie Superheroes, some of the early versions of them are public domain.
Yeah, they fell into public domain.
Yeah.
Not even because of the copyright reason, because like after you have, say, like the life of the person plus so many years, some of them actively fell into public domain due to legal reasons.
Yeah. Although they do have, they're doing them again, and I think you can only do the ones from like the early 40s.
Yes, you can only do the version that fell into public domain.
Yeah. You can't...
But that applies to all public domain characters, right? Like, the classical Nordic god Thor is public domain, but you can't do Marvel's Thor.
Yeah.
Well, not yet anyway. Eventually, there are going to be versions of Marvel's Thor that falls into public domain.
Yeah.
Unless Disney has something to say about it. You know, Disney, and they're not the only one. A lot of people like to give them heat, but they are the primary reason that the lifetime clause on copyrights keeps getting extended.
Yeah,
Because you always have your lifetime, but then they extend it for your lineage, like so many years after your death.
yeah. They tend to how shall we say it? They go to court and battle for this stuff. Yes, we need you to extend this, and then everybody stays.
Mostly for Mickey.
Yeah, and mainly for the mouse.
Yep.
So he named like 4 or 5 in the chat this afternoon, but I'm probably not. I might end up doing one of them. Actually, I previously did them. I can't find them on my channel. I did like 4 public domain characters a long time ago on my channel, but I can't find them. I thought I did it and uploaded it or whatever, but I can't find it. So it's like, I hate that.
You know who's also in public domain?
Who?
Historical figures, and by extension, currently public figures that will be in regards historical one day.
Yeah, so like Trump.
Yeah, any politician, not necessarily anybody who owns a business, but anybody who engages in activism, becomes politically engaged. Those count as public figures. Once you make yourself engaged with the public on that level, you become a public figure, and at least in the United States, I don't know how far that law extends to, like, what other countries have on their books in a similar way, you become public domain. As long as it's not libel. But, once the person's dead and there's no one in their state who wants to dispute claims, libel kind of disappears.
Yeah. Actually, since some of these are so old for characters created, I might be able to put them in. Well, not the heroes, but the villains. Maybe I might use some of them for my whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
My Secret Warrior stuff. Hey, Fresh News, this is spooky. Why is this spooky, Fresh News? And thank you for stopping by, too.
Do we need to make it any spookier?
I guess I could even put the heroes in and somehow make them even.
Oh, well, you totally could. I don't know if you'd want to. Personally, like, when it comes to myths and stuff, I want to use some public domain characters just because myths are so important, especially to the cosmology of my world. Yeah. But I really just don't want to use characters that I didn't create in some level for most stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I'm thinking public domain for my Secret Warriors stuff is more because I've never really set up any villains for them. I set up the thing that they exist, but to me, I was probably never go till I decided to do what I'm going to do with them. and I have them appear in, like the ones in my comics, I was probably not going to do much with them.
Joshua says the spookiness is probably talking about the camera quality and lighting. Yeah, the way your camera and your lighting is, sometimes at this angle too, you get like these scan lines that go through.
Oh, okay.
You notice it almost looks like warping, right? Like these dark scan lines that slightly distort the image. Pretty faint, but you can see them.
Yeah.
I actually have problems with how our public domain and copyright system even works here in the Western world.
Yeah, I remember you were somewhat saying before.
Yeah, I think we had a conversation about this like a year ago, probably.
Well, I think we had one. I'm not sure whether it was off air or whatever. I think we had one like 3 to 6 months ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it probably comes up every so often. Especially like every time too, I bring it up because I have my personal solution, and it's similar to the Japanese one. It's the doujinshi thing, where it's like, I think either all characters should be public domain or no character should be public domain, right? Like either the copyright stays with the person's estate forever, and if there's nobody left to hold the estate, it just disappears, or that primary ownership stays with this estate, but everything's available to be used at all times, as long as it's not like, say, maybe some corporation profiting off of it outside of that person's interest, maybe like an individual making their story.
Yeah. As I said, I sort of like your idea, allow the fan fiction, as you might want to call it.
Yeah, because that's what doujinshi literally means. It just means fan work in Japanese.
It's not canon, obviously, but they can make a couple bucks off of it, as long as they're not, making billions of dollars or millions,
Yeah, well, because it ultimately comes down to property rights, and if you're going to call it intellectual property, if somebody can own an idea, then you have to treat it like actual property rights.
Yeah. Sure. But even property, once you're dead, can be sold off, or if
it can, yes. So I think you can do an estate sell, right? And somebody could pick it up.
Yeah, and especially if there's nobody there. And hello, Elric, how are you tonight?
Well, because that's the problem. Like, there's a lot of things where, if we're respecting property rights, the government shouldn't be able to just seize your property. They do have ways that they do it. They shouldn't be able to, but they do. But in many cases, the state will have an estate sale because they're not supposed to just take it, so they'll let other people, usually local, but honestly, without being able to stop you from crossing state lines, anybody can pick up anything, to buy off the individual pieces of property of that estate.
Yeah.
The public has access to buy it, but it still stays in private hands because it's private property.
Well, good news, Alric. Well, not just for right now, but for the future. I got my money from Indiegogo for my present campaign, which means raising in Canadian funds did my little experiment, told me what I needed to. So, of course, everybody's going to get their coloring book. And at the same time, that means Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift number 1 are going to be a go on Indiegogo. When I do the campaign, hopefully we will have everything together by the summer or end of summer to do that. So I'm just going to have to raise everything in Canadian funds.
I mean, wouldn't you assume so?
Yeah, well, they do let you raise in American funds if you're Canadian.
Yeah, but like, is there any real benefit to it? Because isn't it just going to have to be translated into Canadian funds afterwards anyway?
Yeah, well, see, the way I go it, I did this one and I did the other ones, is I sort of, well, how I did this one, and I tried to do my other one at first that way, but I wanted to raise it in American funds because most of my clientele are easier half American, and I know.
Yeah, but doesn't Indiegogo already change it to where you see it in your local denomination anyhow?
Yeah, they do, but I want to know what. Say since they're mostly Americans at the moment are my main audience, I want to know what they're paying. So, I like for this one, as I said, I figured out what I wanted to charge in American, and I translated that, said, okay, how much is this in Canadian, using one of those converter programs, that does the currency on a given day. So, it might be off by $1 or $2, depending on,
Yeah, but can't you still do that even with the Canadian funds? The only difference is instead of doing it to find out what you're getting back, you just only put in the second end of that calculation.
Yeah, I put in this, say it's like the $5 deal or whatever, So, say I put, $6 in American, that can vary, maybe it's $6. Maybe I put in the $5 or the $7, whatever, the $6 or whatever. So maybe it's $5 one day American, maybe the next day it's $6. Well, not probably that, but or maybe another day it's $4. Although I doubt with that low of money it would fluctuate that much. It's more when up you get 10, 20, 30. Once you get up to 100, I think is where it starts fluctuating. It's like even just the goal, the $500 goal, there was a $100 difference. So
yeah. Elric, listen, there's some similarities. He says, Cross, you live in Discount California. How is making money a good thing? I thought it was the same there as it is here. I wouldn't even call it Discount California, though I would think of all the provinces, Ontario is probably the one that is most similarly minded to California, if I'm correct on that.
Yes and no. Parts of it are, but parts of it aren't. If you go Northern Ontario,
a lot of Northern California doesn't think the same as Southern California, so I think it's actually kind of parallel in that regard.
Yeah, but then again, you do have a lot of people in Toronto that like to make money too, so.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in LA that like to make money. They just, they virtue signal so they can continue to make the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels, and that would be the area you're in. But I would say that California, I guess you could call it discount, because California might actually be way more far gone than Ontario. Ontario is probably worse than most of the United States, but I think California as a pocket has gotten even worse than Ontario is in that regard.
Well, you know what? That's again hard to say because right now, although he's an idiot in the moment, and we did elect him based on other things, him not being an idiot, things he said, our premier or governor, as you might know it, is supposed to be conservative. So he's supposed to be Republican, well, or close to your Republican. You know, he got elected on, you know, Ontario open for business and, you know, a couple other statements. Yet he's, you know, in this pandemic, he's not even coming close to doing that. He's more,
yeah.
Well,
know, I think you're
trying to keeping us in lockdown.
I was actually trying to compliment you, though. I think you're saner than California. Like, you're kind of reinforcing my point.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, California is not even the most far gone state. It's pretty much the whole West Coast. I would say Oregon is actually further gone than California is. California's just doing stupid things economically, but like as far as everything is going, Oregon is the worst.
Ulrich says, so basically, Ontario is like San Francisco. Got it. Not like here in San Diego.
Well, it'll vary from city to city, right?
And
Toronto, on the whole, is probably closer to San Fran, if we're comparing.
And it's Ontario, not Ontario. It's supposed to be an O there, not an A.
I hope he wasn't assuming that's how it was pronounced. I thought I was saying Ontario. It's almost like the opposite, though, right? Like, you know what actually bothers me? When people pronounce the word envelope.
Yeah.
It's like there's no O in that word. Well, there's an O later on in the lope part, but it's like there's no O at the beginning of that word, or an AH or anything that would make you think it should be said that way.
Silver says, Cross River, I got my education in California. Okay, but, you know, I don't know.
What do you think, because I really only know a lot about 3 provinces in particular, right? It's obviously the one you're in, talking about Ontario. I know quite a bit about Quebec and how just crazy they are in their own way. I know they have some of this like modern problems too, but Quebec has been crazy for over a century now.
Actually,
and I know about. I would say it started over a century ago.
From what I know, it didn't start till I don't know. I think early in my mom's life, or just before my mom was born.
I would say that, looking at the timeline, that's when it came to a head.
When some idiot over from France came over, according to her, you know, anyways, and said, you know, you're French, you know, you should be getting treated special. You know, I'm not sure when we made French our official second language.
Oh, yeah, but it was crazy before that.
Yeah, but it was no... If it was crazy, it was nowhere near what it is now.
Well, you know, you leave people with crazy ideals in charge long enough, and it just keeps getting crazier.
And unfortunately, the ones
look at the other stuff happening in other places. It's all because of crazy ideals, right?
Yeah. The thing that really has made them crazy too is there is a fourth or fifth major party in there. It became a fourth major party just in Quebec long before like the Green Party, called the Bloc Québécois, and they unfortunately run it a lot. At least provincially.
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of them.
Let's see. Elric said less than 40% of high school graduates can actually read. That is sad.
The other one I know about is Alberta. So like most, that's not even like maybe together. That's what a third of the size of the country, or is it closer to half? I know those are Alberta is one of the bigger provinces, but the ones in the north are even bigger.
Actually, Alberta's not one of the bigger ones. Alberta's, I would say, medium at best.
Yeah, I know yours is pretty.
Yeah, Ontario is population-wise definitely the biggest, I believe, followed by Quebec. Yeah. I think they can go either way.
Well, I know population-wise, Alberta it's not even close. Like, especially because over half of the land mass in Alberta is almost uninhabitable.
I could be wrong. I don't think so, but
it's the terrain over there. Like I said, I've got friends up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And some of the terrain over there, it's not even because the winters aren't that bad compared to if you go more north. That's probably a lot worse than it is with you. I know it's worse than anything I've seen. They send me videos and stuff sometimes, especially because I have a friend who used to work up on the power poles during the wintertime. But there's a lot of terrain over there that you just can't really build cities on.
I would think it's like I said, I would have thought you could, but hey, what do I know? I don't live out that way. It looks, from a map, especially not a geographical one or topographical one. It looks all, that it can be made into
even worse than what I just went through. No, dude, the winter I just went through was nothing. It's just Texas doesn't often get heavy winters in any degree, and I wouldn't even call that was a heavy winter. The state's not prepared for winter weather. I think if you were northern up, say you were in Delaware and you had a winter that light, it wouldn't even have bothered them.
Oh yeah, in Canada, from what I hear, what you guys got, and I don't really know, I didn't hear much.
There's nothing.
Yeah. That probably would have. We get a snowstorm like that probably once or twice a year, maybe. That's probably. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know how bad it was. How deep was the snow? There, it's a question.
It varied from area to area. Elevation obviously had a lot to do with that. But if you were to average the snowfall, I think it was 3 inches. It was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I think somebody said it had gotten up to 7 inches, but I don't believe it actually got up to 7 inches. It wasn't even a foot of snow.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's what we have after. That's what we have a day or two after.
I was born in New Jersey. I've lived here most of my life, but I spent summers and winters up there in my early life. I've been in 3 foot of snow, and even that, there's worse winters.
My mom says a dusting. And hello,
that is just a dusting. It was nice though. It was actual snow. Usually, if we get anything, and it's been a few years since we've had anything like what we had earlier in December 2020. It's sleet, right? It's some type of icy slush that'll freeze over. This thing we just had was actual snow, powdery. You could feel it. If you're familiar with snow, you'd be like, no, okay, for once you guys can call this snow.
And
dusting.
And hello, Bullet. And actually, Rebellious was already here. She said hello earlier. He said, stop talking about maps. You'll summon Bay Street.
The real problem is the infrastructure, right? So, power went out and stuff. They just weren't prepared for anything that heavy, proportionate to what we've been getting. It's been years. It also went down in temperature. That was the worst part, right? Our power grid isn't built for sub-zero Fahrenheit temperature.
Yeah.
And it's we're one of the most southern states there is. I mean, when you look how far Texas dips down on the map, I think Florida's the only one that matches it, and it's out in the middle of the ocean. We're just not used to that cold. I think it's been 2 decades or maybe more since we've even dropped into this negatives.
Ulrich says, I live in California. Snow isn't it unless you live in mountains. Or in San Francisco, Ulrich. They have it in Northern California.
San Francisco's not even Northern California, really.
Okay, mid-California?
Yeah, it's probably right around there. I think in Northern California, I think of like Sacramento.
And Bullet says for me to challenge you to a battle rap.
Yeah, I guess you could call it. It's just north of the halfway point. I think like San Jose would be mid. San Francisco's a few miles north of that. You could probably call that north. SoCal would call it north, but like everything above like the LA area is just Northern California to them. And Sacramento is like what I would call the start of Northern California. You have to get up to like Redding and stuff if you're actually, you know.
Yeah. Rick, Herb, Cross Universe versus Metal Universe? Or the X Dynamis Chaos Universe, you mean?
Yeah, that would actually be what I call the universe. San Francisco used to be poppin'. It's got like a really rich history. I was reading up a lot about it because I was going to write like a radio program, right? Like a audio drama type thing. Kind of like in the old pulpy sort of way where they would adapt a lot of pulp stories into audio, like The Shadow and stuff like that. I was going to set it in just post-transcontinental San Francisco.
That
was going to be like late 1800s, and that was going to be a fun story.
Eagle, that would be because this is not supposed to be the Canadian Shield. This is the public domain character, the Flame. So, nothing like my Flame.
And it actually, I think it's on my hard drive still. I downloaded like a map of the greater San Francisco area during that time where there's like... It really wasn't a single city, right? There was the city of San Francisco, but there's like a lot of these like smaller sections and stuff that were their own town, and eventually they all just grew together into what is like San Francisco now.
Yeah, that's...
And there's these little pop-ups that were centered around like where the mines and stuff were.
That's almost like what's happening here in Ontario. Well, Southern Ontario.
Yeah. I think it's similar to most places in general. Like the colonies were a little different when you were right on the shore, because there obviously were a lot of major cities that were founded because you get like a bulk of like 1,000 people that settle in one place, right?
Yeah.
But like as you start traveling west, it's a bunch of like, we set this place up here because there's a natural resource. They set that place up there because they're a natural resource. It's just big enough for the people that settled down. But, we're expanding, and now we're expanding into each other.
Yeah. It's like Hamilton and Toronto, and actually you can go further than either of them a little bit, is like there's like Hamilton goes right up next up to a city called Burlington, and it goes right up to a city named Oakville, and that goes right up to the city Mississauga, and that goes right up to Toronto. So literally...
Yeah. I remember one day we were looking at the map and you were telling me this stuff.
So you could, you know, like for Hamilton, Burlington, there's literally... I'm not sure exactly where it is. You could literally, you know, have 1 foot in Hamilton, 1 foot in Burlington. Is this Flame name... Flame named Man like Mountain Lion, and is he also a Native American who traveled through time? No, he's not. Eagle is blowing his nose. Everyone runs, says Homer. No, apparently...
I think to some degree you still got that everywhere.
Yeah. No, Eagle. This guy's name is Gary Preston. He's an adventurer. He's part of the. He lives in New York, part of a group affiliation called the New Furies. He's 5'11", 185 pounds. Brown eyes, blonde hair. And first appearance was Wonder World Comics. Number 3. It says Fox, July 1939. His known creators are Will Eisner and Lou Fine.
Yeah. Well, like the area I'm in is very much like that too. And I think, like I was saying, there were some settlements that were just like a bunch of people plotting in one place, but obviously there were other towns that ended up encroaching each other. Like in the state I was born, New Jersey, they don't really have counties as well. Like they have things called counties, but the counties are actually more like cities are here because they have smaller townships that make up these structures. And they all have to like agree with each other on stuff. So like my mom and my dad, they grew up in different townships, but functionally their county of Middlesex County was more like a city than like how we would see a county here in Texas.
Yeah, and heck, although the city next to us doesn't like to admit it, and even Burlington, they are part of what's known as the GHA, the Greater Hamilton Area. I
mean that's a call here. Everything here is just the Greater Dallas area.
Yeah.
And I'm at the southern, or the Dallas-Fort Worth is what they call it too, because Fort Worth is a big enough city, and there's a bunch of stuff in between, and they have to get along with each other.
Yeah. No, Mallet, I just finished drawing public domain character The Flame. And now I am drawing public domain girl, or character Moon Girl. We're going to try. And I think I did do one of the ones that you said before, American Crusader. I think I drew him before. I gotta find him. Find the video.
No, like our towns are so close to each other that I walk everywhere. Like I walk between towns.
Yeah.
He wants to know what about my 5 suggestions.
Maybe if I get to one of them. I went to, let's see, I went to Free Universe, My Art Online, to find it. Is there green llama in here? I seen the Black Terror, or whatever, the Terror, whatever he was. Where is that? Yeah.
Did I hear a ding dong?
Yeah, John's here. Hey, John.
Hello.
So, did you hear the great news, John? Did you hear the great news, John?
The great news? No, what's the great news?
I got my money from Indiegogo.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I didn't need your help. It went into the bank account I used last time, too.
Wow.
So raising in Canadian funds does make all the difference for me.
Imagine not being a trader paying off.
Different people, Eagle Cross. You didn't answer my question. What was your question, Ulrich?
Oh, he was asked if it was Prohibition New York or modern day sad New York.
I'm not sure because
what year was this character again?
He was created, I believe, 1939. He first appeared in 1939. So.
Oh, okay, no. And technically, because Prohibition was more of like the 20s.
If he probably grew up in the 20s, you know.
Yeah, Prohibition never actually happened.
And that's for who created the one I'm working on now. Known creators: Max Gaines, Gardner Fox, and Sheldon Moldoff. Yeah, I'm drawing up some, because Mallet wanted me to. I'm drawing up some public domain characters, although I'm not necessarily the ones he suggested.
Why not?
This afternoon, I just went and checked out which ones that I liked.
Well, Mallet, I don't know how to respond to that, because Mallet can sometimes try to sabotage you, and other times he has good advice. Why did you choose not to do the ones that he suggested?
Well, I went to this site called myfreeuniverse.myart online. It's supposed to be public domain characters.
Uh-huh.
And I just went to the hero section. And
did you at least check out the characters that he suggested to decide whether you wanted to do them or not?
Well, I did look at one, and I have actually done him before. American Crusader. So that's
whatever happened to that guy, that British guy that we used to call himself the Crusader?
Kyle?
Yeah.
He's still in
he's in the Discord. He just calls himself Evan Hotep now. Actually, he's been doing that for a while. Back when Evan was in there was like 2 Evan Hoteps, and one of them was Kyle.
Oh.
I don't remember all the characters he... Green Llama... Can't even see Green Llama on here. I think there was one called the Black Terror or something like that. Or the Terror.
My favorite, the Terror, is the one in the Tick.
I don't think I remember that guy.
Yeah, he's great. When they did the live-action show on Amazon not too long ago, they made him the main villain of Season 1.
Yeah, I think they might have even got him from Public Domain, the Terror.
Maybe. I think there's a few public domain things in the Tick. Because, the Tick is kind of like a parody satire of superhero stuff anyway.
Yeah. Bronze Terror. Was it just the Terror or Black Terror? Mallet.
I got a question for you, Metal, and Rick. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with like current artists and what their actual names are, but there's a style of drawing. I see it a lot in like anime, not so much anime, but like the Street Fighter style of drawing female characters that fight.
Yeah.
Where they actually use hatching and lying weight in the drawing on the female forms to accentuate the muscles and stuff like that. Do you know who made that popular?
No.
Oh. I know some early examples of it. I don't know exactly who made it popular.
Even if you could give me like a direction of some early examples so that I could kind of backtrace them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you said Street Fighter is actually one of the examples. And the Street Fighters have the same artist, I think, since it started for the main concept art. I'm trying to remember some other people did it. Because this was a popular thing in manga in, like, the 80s. Right? Kind of like how, you don't see it as much in, Fist of the North Star, but you do see it a little bit. Just trying to make some of the women seem more feminine without adding too many lines to them and using the hatching instead.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it didn't start there. It was like an early 80s thing where you see it in Japan at least. And Street Fighter picked it up.
Yeah, I could see Street Fighter picking up because they seem to be somewhat Japanese oriented, with the kung fu. And all
It is a Japanese game.
Okay, yeah, that makes even more
They
sense.
might have a different artist now, but I know for most of Street Fighter's theme, I don't think the guy would be.
So does the name?
It was the '90s.
Okay, I think this is what I like too, because I think it's the same guy that did the same work for the King of Fighters.
Oh, I love the King of Fighters style of art. It's very
does the
similar.
name does the name Kinu Nishimura ring a bell?
Oh, Nishimura, that does ring a bell, yeah. Not so much the first name. I recognize the surname though. I don't know if I've ever looked at the first name.
I think that style is what I want to go with for this scraps book. And I need to do some practice.
Yeah.
We got somebody else here. Hey, Rebel, how are you?
Piper.
Yes. Did you hear the great news?
What's the great news?
I got my money from Indiegogo.
Didn't you do that a long time ago?
No,
It's not even Thursday. How did that happen?
Well, it was last Thursday they started, put it in. And
You mean for like the coloring book?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean that's because you had it in Canadian funds this time, though, right?
Yeah, well, I'm presuming that's why.
Yeah. So lesson learned, I guess, sir.
Yeah. I can do my next campaign on Indiegogo without any... No muss, no fuss, right?
No muss, no fuss.
Eagle says, hail, mouth guy!
3 + 3 = 7.
Hey, this guy
That's a
doesn't
hot
know
take.
math. What are you talking about?
Math is racist, sir.
It's his truth.
No wonder my
He doesn't
bank
have to
account's
show
always
his
all
work.
crazy.
Yeah. The bank account is prejudiced against you, John.
They should be giving me all my bank statements in the what?
Hey, well, at least you guys get Biden bucks. I get nothing.
Well, near the...
Oh yeah, I got my two 1400s sitting in the house crying right now.
Near the beginning of it, we did get, what, $200 or $300?
Yeah, you got Trump bucks.
No, I mean for us, Trudeau did give us like $300 or something like
Yeah,
that.
he gave us like 200 extra bucks on a GST.
God bless Trudeau.
I know, right?
For where would we be?
Now, if you got put out of work, they gave you like $2,000 a month, which is, decent. I mean, if you're out of work, but I mean, I never was out of work. I never got to get any free money. So my life never changed.
Yeah. That was one of the funny things is a lot of people took that out of context and they were trying to make it look like everyone in Canada was getting that, just because like the way ours was working is like you were like indiscriminately getting the Trump bucks, but it was only those who were out of work over there, right?
Yeah, it was like those who got laid off because of COVID or whatever. That was basically our unemployment insurance. You know what I mean? The CERB is what they called it.
Which I mean, that's kind of a more responsible way to do it, realistically speaking.
Now, a lot of people took advantage of that system, quit their jobs, applied for CERB. No one really looked into it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think you're technically supposed to pay it back too eventually.
yeah, and then they say, you know what? We're not too worried about that. So,
They never
and
are.
then you have to go track down all those people, and then it's
It's a thing.
it's a mess. Yeah, it's.
I think Mallet wants a link. I can give you a link, Mallet. Give me a sec.
I don't know. I'm looking up this guy's artwork, and I don't think this is it.
Whose are we?
There's another guy. Bullet had put his name in the chat. I'm gonna go double check it. And it's Shinkiru, or Ikiro, who also known as Toshiaki Mori. and he did a lot of like the SNK, as well as like Street Fighter artwork as well in like the 90s.
And let me go look it up.
Yeah,
Toshimaki Larry.
actually,
No, this isn't. This is. I know what he's talking about. Yeah, but no, this is not it either. Damn it!
Yeah.
I gotta find an example.
well, Larry plays a lot of games, so he might know.
Know about
Well,
what?
the thing is, I gotta at least find an example of it so I
Yeah.
can show you. You know what I mean? Like how
Yeah.
the line work is done. I don't even know keywords that I would be able to type in. I'm such a stupid idiot. I'm
You got
busy over
mail.
here, Rick. Feel free to keep on with your show. You know?
You got mail coming to you, John. I put your package in the mail a few days ago.
What package?
Your Niobe book.
Nice!
Yeah.
How much was that to ship from Canada?
$12.
Hey, Mallet.
Outrageous.
Hey.
Hey, Mallet, it's been a
Shut up,
while.
Mallet. He sounds like he's asleep.
Am I? Do I? Do I sound like I'm asleep?
No, not to me, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Larry, what do you think of my new idea for my new comic book called? Well, it doesn't have a title yet.
Just
Not
sounds
officially.
great, man. It sounds awesome.
It's a beautiful, naked, big titty women ride dinosaurs and fight girls that drive muscle cars with machine guns.
Oh, I like this already. Babes and Dinosaurs. Let's do it.
It looks really good.
That's what I would call it. Babes and Dinosaurs.
I think that's taken.
How about Babes in Dinosaur Land?
Why don't we just call it Cadillacs and Dinosaurs?
Well, you see, yeah. Well, I mean, there's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but yours would be a play on that. Maybe Babes and Dinosaurs or Dino Babes or something. I don't know.
That's also already taken.
We'll find something, John. We'll find it. Don't worry.
All the good names are taken when it comes to babes and dinosaurs.
I thought you were talking about the box as the next project. Weren't you going to send out a box and we're all
That's
gonna
already
throw-
been sent out.
The
Oh,
boomerang
right.
box, yeah.
That actually, I gotta check the tracking number, but it should have already arrived at Malin's.
How many
And then-
people are involved in this? Like, you asked me, you want to take part? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can throw something in there. So,
Yeah, I mean, I still got a bunch of confirmations from a lot of people, but right now we're sitting at 16 people.
Jesus, it's gonna be a big box, John. How
It's
much
gonna
is
be
that
a-
gonna?
It's gonna be a heavy box.
Oh, fuck, I don't know if I want to pay the shipping on that, John.
See?
Right, I know.
Fuck. Get it to me first. I'm like the furthest away,
Well, I had to send it to Malin because he hit me up with that whole this is my actual address, so don't have nobody else send that to me. Send it to me first. I'm like, all right, whatever.
You should have told him to go to hell.
In a hand basket.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think you took orders from anybody.
All right.
It's not like anybody on this list would have actually doxed him,
Got your docs, man. I
Well,
almost
the
said,
thing
I
is,
think it's worse.
this list is full of people that I know on YouTube, not necessarily only CG people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
Well, it
knows?
could be even worse. Somebody could have showed up to his house.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah. Well,
Or even
you
Rick.
have his address anyway.
No. Sorry, I don't want to be in quarantine or having to go to some quarantine hotel coming back
What?
into Canada. And having
I would
to
love
pay-
to go to a quarantine hotel.
We
By
By
the
the time
expenses
we're allowed to
paid.
travel, Rick, that will be over. I mean, the worst case scenario will be, do you have papers that say you've been vaccinated?
Hi,
Well,
Elric.
well, actually, that's actually happening now. And people are coming back and they're having to pay like $2,000 for 3 nights.
Yeah, I know.
And get cruddy service.
I would say I don't got the money. My name's Pepe Aguilar.
Yeah.
Up you.
I don't know anything.
I've been cancelled. Yes,
Just talk like Borat.
I got the clock radio. My neighbor cannot afford. Great success.
Elric suggests Dino Maidens.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing:
how about
Dino girls are not the stars of the show. The stars of the show are the girls that are in the hot rods.
Hot rods and dinosaurs.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
It's going to be a hit no matter what you call it, John.
I want it to be something that somebody can type in and not misspell.
Well, you know, the modern education system, I don't think there's any name that qualifies.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Elric. We can test out names on Elric. Can he spell it? He's from California.
We could test it out on Rick and have him try to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it would be like a game of telephone, right? We'd send it to Rick, see him try to read it out loud, and then see if Elric can actually spell the right word based off of what Rick said.
That'd be even bigger than Scribbattle.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell is shade now throwing at me?
I'm not showing any shade at you. Am I?
He's just saying this sounds really entertaining.
Yeah. I wasn't like ripping on Scribbattle. I just thought it would be a good idea. I don't have to explain myself to you.
Elric says Grease Maidens.
Grease Maidens. I like
it.
That's actually pretty
Prehistoric Grease Maidens. There you go.
No, this takes place in the future.
Well, you got prehistoric animals, though, right? So,
but they're not real animals. They're kind of brought back together via Frankenstein's monster style. They're zombie
like a Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah, but they couldn't keep the dinosaurs alive. They didn't have the technology, so they just kind of made them into like cyborgs, zombie dinosaurs. So they're not
cyborg
real
dinosaurs versus hot rod maidens.
It's a long name.
Elric, type that in.
But the more John keeps talking, the more he keeps adding to it, though. You know what I mean?
Well, the original concept from what he described was basically Dino Riders versus like Twisted Metal, but all of the main characters are hot babes.
Bullet says Axel and Bone.
Doesn't Bone and Axel flow better?
Maybe.
Why do you hate Bullet?
No, I like his idea. I'm just trying to make it flow better.
I know.
But the thing is, there is going to be one guy. Because the thing is, the dinosaur girls, the oppressors, because the thing is, if they capture you, they do like, they forcibly remove your womb.
Do you get shoo-shoo?
Snoo-snoo? No.
Snoo-snoo, that's what I meant. Snoo-snoo.
But no,
well, they forcibly remove your womb, then you can have all the snoo you want without consequences.
That's true. Other than, Christian consequences.
But all kinds of consequences. There's a lot of health problems with that, too.
But what happened, so it's bad. You don't want, these are bad people, right? So the rebels are the ones that are the good guys.
Rebels!
Because the Earth has been abandoned for hundreds of years. Elon Musk took everybody to Mars.
Yeah, screw this place.
The only people that are left are the people that didn't want to be part of that Bill Gates socialist utopia. So they were like, "Oh, we're not going to deal with any of that stuff." It's like Demolition Man, the underground people, the Dennis Leary people, right? Like I'm not going to.
Sandra Bullock was hot in that movie.
Hell yeah, she was. So it's just like, so they don't want to be any part. They don't want to be a part of any of this nonsense. But there was a faction that stayed behind, and now they're essentially the new oppressors on Earth. And there's no men here, so a man has to come back from Mars, and he's an engineer, a brilliant engineer, and he comes back to these hot rod babes, and he builds a fantastic killing machine for them because they're getting oppressed from the 3 Rex. The 3 Rex is the ultimate machine, right?
That's your name. The 3 Rex.
Yeah, the 3 Rex is a 3-headed T-Rex, and it's just laying waste to these cars left and right, and they have no way to fight it. And this guy comes down to help them out, and he invents essentially what's going to be, the Truckzilla, the monster truck, kaiju.
Truckosaurus.
Yes, basically a Truckosaurus.
Have you tried drawing this 3 Rex yet? Because I imagine it's going to be a pain pain in the butt.
I ain't got all the time in the world, all right?
Bullet also just suggested A to B.
Well, I think that's why he picked the
Sunday, Truckosaurus.
axle and bone in that direction was A to B. To me, it just feels like it flows better the other way because the last syllable is an L, so that's better at the end, and it's one syllable to two syllables.
And it's gonna have these pincers, right? Like Ripley had in Aliens when she was fighting that alien, and it's gonna have a Truckosaurus, and he's gonna be fighting this 3-Rex and all these other dinosaurs because he has the superior technology.
Like
now.
somehow the whole name has to like encompass the fact that you got the Truckosaurus, you got the Hot Rod, you got the Babes. You know, like somehow the name has to encompass all of this at once. And just like, yeah, it's badass.
Alric suggested Motor Roar.
Motor Roar?
Motor Roar Girls?
That's not bad. That's a good direction. I like that. Because I was spitballing it last night. I was sitting in bed and I was like, I can't even continue with this thing until I can get a name for it. And I was trying to figure out a name, and Marsupial Gamer was giving me the most god-awful names you could ever imagine.
Oh, yeah. He was trying to make it, like, almost pornographic, too. Like, he was putting, like, capitalizing the middle of Jurassic and stuff like that. Like,
That's brilliant.
Why do we even talk to him?
I don't know.
Techno savage.
Does he know that a code?
All he does is copy and paste. It's not cool.
Well, anything John with hot babes, I'm sold, brother. I'm in.
Well, that's another thing. That's the other direction I got to go. I got to find a way to make these babes as hot as possible.
You need you need to draw them as hot as possible.
Well, that's the thing, because I can draw girls or whatever in whatever style, but there needs to be an undertone, a subconscious, almost pornographic feel to every drawing.
Well, just channel like your inner 90s style bad girl artists and just make them all sexy as shit. Every panel you got them and pretend you're J. Scott Campbell or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, J. Scott Campbell isn't the direction I want to head. That's why I'm looking for this style of artwork right now, where I was asking earlier about that. It's like a hatching, but you see it sometimes when they have fighting games where you see a lot of musculature on these very fit girls, along with the shading that it almost incorporates a black into the shading of the skin tones. But it doesn't look bad. They found a way to not make it look bad. And it looks even more evocative.
Hello, Mrs. Dillard.
Hello, Mrs. Dillard Draws.
She's telling John it's time for bed.
She says Kelly Bundy.
Kelly Bundy was fucking gorgeous.
And brilliant.
Yes, very brilliant. She was past her time, like she was.
I think she was a math expert.
She was. So that's where I learned my skills.
I believe that.
Mrs. Dillard, great news! I got my money from Indiegogo.
That's not great news. I was hoping we were going to get refunded.
I got refunded.
So when are you gonna fulfill the coloring book then, Rick? Since you took the money, or are you taking the money and running?
Yeah, I'm taking like $358 and running. Well, actually, it's not
is that what they gave you? $358.
Actually, that's what I raised. I got like 290 something.
Is that even enough to make the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough to make it and ship it. Because I'm not going to make I'm just going to make a little bit more than, what was ordered. Like, there was, I had, 17 backers. 5 of them were digital, so I'm probably going to make, 25 books, maybe 30 at most. So
I'm waiting for Snowdrift the Assassin. Uh-oh. Cat is in the chat and you're in trouble, bud.
Hey, Rick, I need to confront you over What do you need to confront me over my website?
You probably already know.
Oh, probably because I used her drawing for thing. If she wants me to take, she never had any complaints. Me putting it in the color or the comic book, so. Not that she
Oh
did.
my god!
Although it's so small you can't see.
Just use it until you get a complaint, right, Rick? I'm not saying that's wrong.
It's not like I'm making any money off of it, so.
Tim Olson, Rick says, give the people what they want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Math guy, we have asked him to give us what we want for years, but he ignores us.
I give them something.
Why do you ignore the people, Rick?
I give them a little bit of what they want, not everything, because...
You mean you give them enough just to give them a tease to make them want more, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, we got 12 people watching and only 4 likes. What the hell's that?
Here, I'll give you a thumbs up, Rick. Sure. We'll make it 5, Rick. An even 5.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah, Rick's like, shut up. You thought about.
Yeah, let's see.
Eagle 43 says, Assassin Snowdrift is a bad idea, Rick. Don't do it.
Let's see. If I can even find it in here.
Is that it? Is that the Canadian Shield book in your hand?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen like the inside of it.
You didn't get one?
No, I didn't get one.
Yeah.
Full of birds.
And there's no trees or bridges.
I figured I'd get one from Rick when I meet him face to face, you know.
Yeah, right. If you can see it, right there, cat. I didn't think you'd have a problem with it so small and nobody barely able to see. I need a magnifying glass to find it.
Stop talking about my private parts, Rick.
Rick, you know what I think happened? I think Model 316 let her know about that, and then she went crazy.
Well, if she doesn't want the picture of lightning on the profile, I'll take it off. Not much I can do about the book now.
You could refund the book and recall all the books.
Yeah. If you were a medical device, that's what you would probably have to do.
They say, Rick, for you to stop being creepy.
Hey, Dillard. I didn't backtrack, but I found a more modern example of what I think you're talking about. It doesn't quite have like the spotting, but talking about the hatching to do the musculature, there was an MMA manga that starred female characters called Teppu. I'm going to put the name and the artist in the meet chat for you. You can look into that, see if that's close to what you're thinking. Because I can go backwards on influences from that if it's even in the right direction.
And if you want, I can also take it out of the... I can't take it out of the books that have been printed, but I can take it out of the books that... any future printings.
Kat, you should grant the permission. Why be so mean?
Canadian Shield #1 has been known to cause brain damage. Damage.
That can't be true.
It's all the birds. That's what.
That's according to Mr. Olson.
No, this ain't what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be happy to know, Mallet. I'm doing the Black Terror right now.
That doesn't look like her.
Her?
Isn't she a her?
No, not the Black Terror that I've found.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
No problem. We'll forgive you this time.
I think the Black Terror should be a woman, but...
Are you saying all women are terrors? or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would your wife like to hear you say that?
I why not?
I don't have a wife, Rick. I don't marry terrorists.
No, you just date them, right?
And then they leave me, Rick.
It's okay.
Rick,
My
do you
wife
have
is redecorating the whole house right now.
I have one for myself, Mrs. Dillard, and I have one for Evan. Whenever I get John's books.
Yeah, John, how's the buckler, man? When's that shipping around?
Probably around the end of August. I mean, what is this? January, February, March, April. Around the end of April.
Beautiful.
And does Kat want me to actually take it off the website? I've never seen any. She never.
God, what are you talking about, Rick?
Lightning.
Is Kat even still in the chat? She probably already left.
I don't know.
You got away with it.
Just keep it in there. If you get a letter from like a lawyer or something, then she's not going to spend the money to actually do anything about it. Oh, she's still here. Shit.
she's here.
Oh my god. All right, well, your guys' opinion, what comic have you seen that's like, wow, fantastic, amazing, beautiful, the way they draw the girls in the comic?
Anything that Michael Turner did.
Are these goods?
Is that Fathom? Is he one of those Fathom?
Sure did.
I didn't take all the wood. Oh, put some over there. Nice.
What? Who's this guy? Atlanta Falcons, Michael Turner.
Well, like I said, Mrs. Dillard, if she has a problem with it, I'll take it down. I didn't think she'd have a problem with it. I'm going to act sorry for something I didn't think she'd have a problem with.
Yeah, look at Kavanaugh. He thought that they wouldn't have a problem with it. Now look at him.
Kavanaugh? Who's that?
Brett Kavanaugh?
The Supreme Court Justice?
But she has to tell me
Yes,
right here,
the
right.
guy that got me too, Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah.
But she has to tell me right here, right now. Well, she has to tell me
She
that
doesn't. No, she doesn't, Rick.
Then she
doesn't
wants
have
it
to do what you tell her to do.
if she wants me to take it down, I have to know.
Why wouldn't you just take it down if she already says she has issue with it?
She actually hasn't said that
And it's,
yet.
and it's not your drawing. Why wouldn't you take it down? You should be like, whatever, Kat. I'm taking it down anyway. Now what are you going to say about that?
Rick, ask her now. Say, can I please use your drawing?
Don't
On
ask
my
her. Just
website.
take it down and be like, and don't come to my channel no more neither.
Get all spiteful about it, Rick. Especially since it's your mistake, right?
Don't always listen to what John says.
Well, I didn't think it'd be too much thing. You know, it is up on the fan art section of my site too, and I told her it was going up there. So I
Rick,
figured.
Don't be stubborn.
You told her it was going up there, or you asked her if it could go up there?
No, I said fan art goes up on there, and I said that, and I didn't think putting it, on the profile.
Well, as long as you're not selling anything on your actual website, that should be fine.
Jeez, Rick, the chat is just going after you, man.
Rick, are you actually selling stuff on your website?
I do sell stuff on my website.
Oh my god!
Oh,
but
you're selling prints of fan art?
No,
Oh.
I never said that. I sell the Canadian Shield book there.
How much is it for a cat print, Rick?
Nothing. I don't sell prints of her drawing of my character.
I will buy one right now.
Yeah, let's start an auction on it.
Yeah. I'll start out at $5.
6.
I don't sell prints of anybody's drawings of my characters.
Do you have any John Dillard? stuff I can buy?
Oh, you better not have any.
Well, actually, I do have John
Yeah,
stuff,
he does.
but that's because John said I could do it.
Yeah, I did say that.
You better
Rick,
get
do I
that.
have to look and make sure my shit isn't there too, or what? Like, fuck.
It probably is.
Yeah,
Fuck. See, you got me swearing on your channel now.
You do that anyway.
I was good up until then.
until you found out that he was like ripping you off, eh?
Yeah, that's right. You know, I found out Rick's got this like big comic scandal going on.
I really wish he
Schemes and
was.
Schemes and scams. That's right.
But like I said, if she wants me to take it down, I will. I have no problem doing that.
You know, I think Rick would actually make more money if there was like this odd like image in the community of him being this like Machiavellian villain.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
Anyway.
we should brainstorm how to actually get Rick to be able to make a living off of his work.
Nah.
I mean, he puts in at least 4 hours a day, right?
Oh, easily with the morning streams and the late night streams, for sure.
And the streams have to be mentally challenging. They must be very hard on him.
Taxing.
Taxing. I didn't mean like he was slow. I
Mentally
meant
taxing.
taxing because we're not really the nicest audience.
You said it, not me.
Cat likes the villain idea.
Bullet says that sounds like a Rick problem, JP.
Oh well, I was just offering. I mean, I wasn't actually going to do anything. I just wanted to
Rick.
sound good.
Could you grow a curly mustache? Do you have the physical ability to do that?
No.
Would you have?
What
to
about like growing a Lemmy, Rick? Like a Lemmy mustache from Motorhead.
There. Let me.
Could you do that?
Like, I gotta go look who Lemmy looks like.
Yeah, Rick don't have a clue. Come on,
Well,
Rick, you
no,
don't
it's not even that.
I didn't
See,
say that, Tim.
See this mustache I've had here? I haven't shaved in like, I don't know,
No.
6 months
Well, we know.
or more.
Let's get a good look at you, Rick. All right.
That
Needs
mustache,
to take some.
That's a 6
testosterone.
monther right there.
yeah, or more. I trim it a little bit, but that's about it.
What are you, 11 and a half going on 12? Maybe
I
you
got
should
more
get a
hair on
fake
my face
mustache.
after a week.
Yeah, they sell these glasses that have a fake nose and a mustache already attached to it.
And you can get those fake teeth too at the little. That's what you should do. Just have a whole new persona. Like
Oh,
make
Rick,
it
so you
look
should
like
feel
someone.
even worse. Look at this.
Make it like someone smacked you in the face with a baseball bat.
Or
Cat
it's
was
like,
going to challenge Bullet to another fan art contest of your characters. You're basically going to get free promotion out of a contest between two other people.
Oh my
but
god!
then she saw that you had put her art up without asking her on the site
You should
while
charge
going
them
to look
that.
for a character.
Rick, I'm trying to figure out some rail lines here. And you guys play?
Elric's like, that's it, 6 months. Cross comics.
Yeah, I've
gaming
been
is-
growing this beard for almost 3 months, Rick. What the hell?
I shaved all of mine. I shaved it, and
I
I
have to
shaved
keep
my
trimming
head.
it because it goes into my mouth. I hate it.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
But I got that Mexican mustache that grows really heavy on the corners. It goes right into the mouth. As a matter of fact, I could probably grow a really decent twisty end mustache because that's where it grows the heaviest, right there in the corners.
If you wax it, it's like...
Ew.
Well, I was gonna put I would have liked to put bullets up on my website, but in there. But Bullet made us think about his 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 drawing of lightning being in the coloring book in that small little panel. So I'm like, okay, nope.
So you already have experience with somebody making a stink about it being in your stuff, and you didn't even think about asking other people thinking they might have a stink too.
Well, for the comic book, it's so small. I'm like, who would care?
I think Bullet had a stink because of when you were doing your hall of monitors, you were like taking pictures from stuff.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of controversy centered around that hall of monitors.
Yeah. Rick's a very controversial figure.
Yeah, you know, when are these old paintings by these quote unquote masters? When are those going to go into public domain? You go to these museums, you still can't even take photographs of them because they want to sell them in the lobby.
Yeah, I think that's the museum having direct ownership, because you can recreate any of those paintings by hand.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
I know when I went to the Linen Museum in Ireland, they wouldn't let you take pictures.
That's your fault, going to a fucking linen museum.
Oh, that's all we could do that day. I went to Lisburn.
Those poor Irish people got nothing to show for their years of existence.
Well, this is Northern Ireland.
And you're not even allowed to take a damn picture, man.
Yeah.
Not allowed to take a picture of the linen.
So, I'm asking you, Kat, do you want me to take the picture off my website on that section? On the profile section of my...
Why don't you give her time to answer? Why are you harassing her?
She hasn't even answered you yet.
Yeah, it's not like she's had like 5 or 10 minutes since we started talking about this.
Well, maybe it's something that weighs heavy on her. You gotta give her time to actually, like, come to the conclusion. This could be, like, a philosophical or moral dilemma for her, Rick.
Well, she could then just say, I'm thinking about it.
Maybe she's just getting her legal team ready, Rick, to strike.
Yeah, probably.
You know, getting that cease and desist letter all geared up, you know?
Yeah, why did you need a cease and desist letter when I'm asking and I'm willing to desist if she just simply says, yes, take it down? Yeah, I figured it was on the fan art section. What harm did it matter, being as the profile pic? Rick, I'm writing to my words.
Well, because once you start using it as official art, it's no longer fan art. At that point, it's actually just free labor.
And actually, I think I got the idea from Dillard, too.
Oh, yeah. God, Dillard, you're just a bad...
This guy trying to pass the buck. Rick!
Yeah. You said I've got all this art, free art. Why don't I use it for my profile pics of my characters?
No, I said my art, my free art.
You just said art. All free art, all the free art. Or we may not have said it's free. You got this art by all these people that have done good versions of your characters. Why don't you use that? Something to that effect, you said.
Yeah, but there are some logical conclusions there, Rick. Like, being the fact that he's involved in this conversation, you can assume that he's at least covering his art. You would still have to inquire from the other artists to be able to use
it. That's a good idea. Let me call Kat. Let me get DM Kat real quick. That's a good idea. Let me DM Bullet.
Man, you're in trouble.
Like, I'm telling you preemptively, from my own perspective, when I finish this picture of Ozona, you can use it. You don't have to worry about that. But other artists, you need to ask them.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put anybody else's art unless, I already asked in my coloring book. I'm selling it at that point.
Elric says, how does a Canadian lawsuit go anyway? Do they just settle and say sorry?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, eh? Yeah, here's $5, eh? Go get a Tim Hortons, eh?
No, well, I think Kat's a woman, so in Canada, she already wins.
Wait a minute.
True.
Did you guys? I heard something. Not heard something, but I'm aware of a situation where somebody got transferred from their position at their job to another location and reprimanded and demoted for using the term "gal."
Yeah, that happened to me. It really sucked. I just said you were a nice-looking gal. Next thing you know, I was repositioned, as they call it, John.
Reposition.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? Were you aware that this was also like a racist term, "gal"?
No.
I would see them saying it was sexist, but racist is a stretch.
Yeah, apparently, in certain sections of the Louisiana, Florida, South, that's what you would call a black slave woman was gal. That was the term.
It's definitely an older term. Like I haven't referred to a girl or heard of a girl referred to as a gal in forever.
Well, heck, Archie has the
Yeah,
comic
that's a
book
good
Pals and
gal.
Gals.
Like who says that? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, by that same logic, son is seen as a racist term.
Well, that's
Well, no, that's only if you use it towards a black person. Suddenly, it's a racist term.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you call a black man's son, it's seen as a racist term.
You mean boy?
No,
Boy,
son.
yeah,
well,
boy.
but also like you say, listen here, son. That's seen as a racist term.
Well, then Steve Austin is definitely a racist. Then
Were you confused about that?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. So what do we do? Do we cancel Steve Austin next? Is that what happens?
They already.
Oh, I
did.
thought it was already canceled because of his name being the same as like one of the big Texas historical figures, Steve Austin.
I thought you were talking about $6 Million Man.
Lee Majors?
Yeah. Steve
No.
Austin.
Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin. What?
The wrestler. Is what they're talking about.
The $6 million man. Jesus.
I'm sorry, I'm not as good at math as you.
Oh, man, you gotta brush up on those skills. Don't you even know long division?
Nope.
There you go.
I got a calculator.
Rick says, I think we need to cancel Rick. So
Yeah, Rick, you could get a lot of exposure if we got you canceled, right?
This is true.
I mean,
What do we actually cancel Rick from though?
I don't know.
I canceled myself long ago, so.
Let's all get together and kick Rick out of Comics Gate. How about that? We'll get Florida Man funded.
Florida man.
By kicking Rick out of everything?
Yeah, there we go.
That seems unfair.
I don't know. I don't think there's a way. There's not a way. There's no way that we're going to get Rick to the point where he's cooperating enough that he would be able to sustain a living off of being on the internet.
Tim says that cat's gonna make up a story and Me Too Rick Piper. Hashtag Me Too Rick Piper.
Does she have to make up a story? He already doxed her.
That's
When
true.
did I dox her?
Yeah, I mean, Rick would have to actually listen to some of you guys with your successful advice, right, John?
Yeah,
That wouldn't
that's
hurt
not
him.
going to happen. I've known Rick for too long to know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn, I hate doing this. I'm working on a commission right now, and I can't show anybody. I hate doing that.
Why?
Because I'm like, it feels like I'm like just sitting around here not doing anything,
That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting around here not doing anything.
and I feel that people will think that is the case, and then hate me for being a freeloader on their show.
Well, I'd like to get my book one day, but you know.
But you know what?
What?
I'm not following Mallet.
When am I going to get my book?
Oh, when it's finished.
Oh.
Which is when?
Which is, go back to the Indiegogo and look at the date that I put on there, and that's when you'll get your book.
If I go back to Indiegogo, I'll see all the other books I haven't gotten yet. And I'll be pissed. And then I won't.
Mallet, I can't solve all your problems in life.
Yeah, you can. You need to do this.
You don't work on. You can get him this.
I get him his book, and then he's gonna talk to me about a Snowdrift Assassin.
Why are these trucks not taking any wood?
What? I seen Mallet. You used to broadcast a show where you would build a zoo.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, this is how the game works. And then I seen somebody else playing the game, the same game on YouTube. And they were doing it like super entertaining. And you said that wasn't possible.
I don't believe that's true. I'm just not capable of making it entertaining.
I think you need equals range. You just purged your check Canada.
And, yes, Elric yells cross for some reason.
Why is it taking wood there?
What the hell is Mallet talking about?
I'm commenting on my game.
Oh, are you streaming right now?
No.
Are you sure you don't want to?
We don't want to know. We don't want to know what you're doing with your wood.
Yeah. Cut it out, Rick.
Good night, Mom.
Rick's going blue with the humor.
Son.
Now Rick scared his own mom away with his blue humor.
Right.
She said bye before I said it, so.
Yeah. Eagle literally just purged your chat of Canada earlier.
Yeah, I did.
Speaking of which, I'm going to purge myself, Rick. I just thought I'd come on, shoot the shit for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Glad you got your money, brother.
Yeah. It's good to know. And have you done an Indiegogo campaign since last
Twice.
year? Last year, I mean, like January last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I guess you did in Canadian funds as well, or?
As far as I remember. I mean, I never had a problem with Indiegogo getting money from them.
Yeah. Because I know George did it before January of last year. He did an American funds and he got it.
Just you.
Yeah, actually, I'll be back on Indiegogo next month, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, just do it in Canadian funds. That's all
Will do, bro.
all I can suggest.
Yeah, like anybody else has this problem.
The problem that nobody has but him.
Hey, George raised his in American funds, and yeah, he didn't have the problem.
Rick's just trying to get the word out there, you know.
He's just trying to help.
That's right.
Who did?
Now, if I do get stuck, I'll give John a call. I'll be like, "Hey, John, they ain't giving me my money."
Don't call me up unless your campaign's in the triple digits.
Triple digits?
Yeah,
That's
Anything above that, you can't get involved.
all right. I'm bouncing. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, man, nice talking to you. Take it easy.
Yeah, good
You
talking
too.
to you.
5 plus 5 is 12.
Yes.
You heard it here,
Starting
folks.
to make sense now. I don't know how to draw a revolver.
What's making sense?
Rick, I think your chat is starting to think you're a hypocrite. You see, Eagle is easily abusing his wrench, and yet he still has it.
I'm not. He is. It's not.
He kicked Cat out.
And Bullet. I told you, he purged your chat of Canada. I said it like, this is the third time now.
Okay. Rick versus.
Can I have his wrench now?
No. It's catching my cat.
I'm the only one here who's trying to help you. Literally.
Okay. Unfortunately, my chat is trying to catch up on on the thing. Oh, he timed out Bullet and thing. Okay, he's getting this wrench taken.
Yeah.
And also kick him off your channel.
Ban him. Send him to hell.
And he thinks he's making up for it by putting Bullet's video link in the chat, like, hey, watch it.
Yeah, we know.
I went to check and it wasn't showing me at first. It had a lot of catching up to do on YouTube behind the scenes. He says I demand a trial. No trials here. I see the co-host with him and constantly berates Rick.
And she's asking, talking about Tim.
Who's Chris?
Who's
I don't know.
Maybe you should have timed out Timothy. Just saying.
Got an anti-Piper propagandist over here.
Seems like it.
Do you like Chris more than Rick? Oh, you know the chat we went to a couple months ago?
Oh, the other Rick? As people were calling him?
The other Rick? What is this?
Is the person that Pope Raven found him, right?
I forget who. But Timothy's been on there quite a bit lately. Or was.
Really? We need to find this person.
Timothy was going on his chat all the time. I've gotten the links to go on. I haven't went on a lot, I'll say. I went on once or twice. Cross permission to use my... No, he's been sentenced without his thing's been taken.
Really?
That's all I know. This guy's like, wow, you called him the other Rick. That's what like whoever brought him up called him like this guy's just like Rick. I tried watching the channel for like 5 minutes. I think both Dillard and Rick went on. I just couldn't take it. I had to jump out.
Yeah. Call up your dog's Viper. What dog? I don't own a dog. Mrs. Diller's like, wow, you call him the other Rick? And I think she puts a link to his channel to subscribe.
Really?
In the chat.
Let's investigate this.
I thought you were here for that, Mallard. Or maybe you had went to sleep because it was on.
It was pretty late.
Yeah, sometimes I get tired. Did John leave? Did John leave?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you just being quiet?
I'm doing stuff.
Oh, you doing your super cool stuff, eh?
Timothy says, to be fair, Rick does more than that guy. Does more than that guy, yeah. Yeah, what was his book? Scum Dogs or something like that? that he was coming
Scum
up.
dogs.
Oh, you're talking about that guy, the read comics that are bad for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that guy. He doesn't seem to actually engage in conversation. He's he waits to. He just kind of waits around to do like a pre-recorded spiel or like a promotion.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't digging the show. Even I think you were on when I was watching because you hopped on immediately that day, and then I think Rick after the show was over hopped on.
Well, I had to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And I'm always down to hop into some rando's chat that has an open link. That's how you meet new people.
Yeah, well, I was giving the show a chance because you guys were on, but I wasn't digging it.
Nope. Not digging it. Hot diggity diggity.
Not like Mallet streams where I'll have him on in the other tab even when I'm on Rick.
So I'm like second fiddle to Rick.
Well, no, I'm on the show with Rick, but I'm watching you instead of paying attention to the conversation.
Oh, maybe I should have been streaming now.
Yeah.
Timothy's, yeah, it's kind of boring. The other Rick with a superior Canadian shield. He doesn't even have a Canadian shield.
Why not? What does he have?
Scumdogs.
What is Scum Dogs?
I think that's the title of his book.
I don't know.
And if you guys think my art is...
Oh, wait. What? Are you going to disparage someone, Rick? That's not right.
That's not very,
If you think my art needs work...
Rick, you can draw better than me, okay? I only think that you should be further along after me watching you for 2 years and your stuff looking the same. That's all.
Wait, that guy? He draws better than you, Rick. What are you talking about?
I haven't seen his art. I have to look.
I've never said that. I ask why that hand looks like it's contorted, but then if I tried to draw a hand, I'm pretty much at the triangle stage. That's my thing. I drew a fist today. Because my son said, "How come all your people don't have hands or feet?" I said, "Because you didn't draw them." So then I drew a hand. My kids are very, very judgmental.
And Mrs. Dillard, just because...
Rick doesn't care. I'm hurting here.
I'm trying to keep up with my chat. And Christ wasn't always nice either. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean you always have to be nice.
I was saying it'd be nice, but he didn't really disparage people unnecessarily.
He didn't go up to lepers and say, "What's wrong with you?"
No.
He didn't disparage anybody who was trying.
Yeah.
He only criticized people who were clearly not doing what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not disparaging him for trying. Then again, hey, I say I need to improve all the time, so I say my art isn't the best all the time too.
Oh, Eagles.
And if he is lame.
I think John would try and help you a little bit.
Hey, Joshua.
Listen, I gave Rick PDFs to how to draw books. Okay, it's not like he doesn't have resources. The internet is plentiful.
Oh no, we all know that Rick has had multiple talented people try and help him. Now you must, Rick, accept this is your style, and grow with it. Grow with that style. That's your style. This is Rick. I still think the animated series would be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It would.
Well, if it went with my characters, if it went with my characters the way that there actually are, not.
No.
That's
You got to be
what
like
would make it funny is that it's not.
right. You got to be like in how with the anime they take the manga and they just try to match it as much as possible, but then fill it in with color and stuff. That's what they got to do for yours.
Yeah, it'd be glorious, Rick.
Rick Eagle stepped into time out again. Yeah, I see Eagle saying a whole bunch of different things. You know what? I'm going to be nice to Elric.
No.
There you go, Elric. There's your permission.
Hey.
Now we're paying attention, citizens.
Oh yeah, he has to go through his little spiel before he does it.
Mrs. Dillard says, "I'm married to Dillard or John Dillard." Timothy Olsen, don't underestimate me.
I probably agree with that.
So what do you think of my black?
Who said what about me? What?
Your wife is talking shit about you.
She says, "I'm married to Dillard, Timothy. Don't underestimate me."
Timothy's going to find a jar of peanut butter outside his head pretty soon.
I get it. You suffered enough. Eagle saying biased. So, what do you think of my Black Terror?
It does not look like the Black Terror I saw on Google.
Well, I gave him a little bit of Cross Comics flair, or Rick Piper flair.
Well, I didn't.
You didn't ask for that.
Flair.
No one asks for that. Well, he is male, so I guess. Let's see.
Or something.
Yeah.
Here's what he looked like originally.
Okay, I can see it now. I can see it. Oh, there's an episode of Black Terror with American Crusader too. Black Terror looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Black Terror is like a very interesting property because it's one of the older ones of like franchise within the world. Like there's a Mexican Black Terror and stuff like that.
And
Isn't that the Buckler?
Alric, I think only one person has said he committed heresy, and that was you.
Well, here this. Can I show my screen?
No, Mrs. Dillard, this is just the one time that I'm allowing it.
All right, so I changed what I was working on, so now I can share it.
Is that El Guapo?
You doing the
Man.
like the grouting, the molding, and the bricks, or you doing the brick itself right now?
Brick itself.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, nope. What's going on? It's mixed matching. Oh no, it's good. No, it's not. What the hell? I guess my lines weren't solid enough.
Jeez.
Okay, let's see. Let's show this off. Browsers.
Gonna be Elric's OC is just gonna be a character called the Wrench of Judgment.
So I got this Black Terror cover with Black Terror and must be Little Black Terror in a steamroller running over a bunch of Japanese soldiers.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I think I took over Dillard. I'm trying to share it. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. And of course, Eagle comes in with his other account. Little black tears in his thing.
Right there.
So what are you doing there, John?
Nothing, just drawing and coloring and stuff like that.
Well, I got you highlighted, so people can
I'm
see.
coloring. That's what I'm doing.
I'm trying to show the Black Terror.
Okay.
I like how it because it's a steamroller made in the USA, but like the message they're trying to get across, it's got to be like right in your face in the center of the image.
Oh yeah. That's the way it should always be, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's made in the USA. That means that it costs like no matter what part breaks, it's $700 to get a replacement.
Yeah, but it's made well. Yeah, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, he seems cool. It's the early days where, heroes would actually kill people.
Yeah. Right here, this is a good cover. I'm going to get your channel banned, Rick. I'm showing Nazi propaganda.
That's Blue Beetle, Black Terror. I'm not sure who the other two are.
It's some Russian guy. The other guy must be some Chinese guy.
No.
No, because I think he's holding the Chinese flag, isn't he?
I don't think that's
old one.
Yeah.
They've changed their flag.
Yeah, I know it's not like, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they were necessarily called back then. Off the top of my head. And then the robot. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, that's the old flag of China, the one with the sun in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the blue square.
Bullet wants me to say his full name when he's reading his chats.
Okay, I'm done. Let's go back to
John.
That was when they were the first flag they had when they called themselves the Republic of China.
Okay, yeah. You looked that up, didn't you?
Yeah, I just did. I wanted to see when it was.
I hate you. You're okay with that, right?
Oh, that's fine. Most people do.
I don't really hate you. I think Rick does, but
I don't hate anybody. Eric says back when they were normal.
China was never normal. Okay.
yeah.
Or I guess they're the only thing that is normal if we're just going by sheer population. I guess it depends on your perspective.
China has always needed to be put in a check.
Well, the problem is their culture is all about maintaining the status quo, which sounds fine, but you could put like any weird idea in there, and then they're going to try to maintain that weird idea. So it just becomes like really tyrannical really fast in almost every dynasty.
Eric says, I was being nice, Metal. Laugh out loud. So I got 3 characters in: the Flame, Moon Girl, and Black Terror.
I thought the Black Terror was a good choice. So good choice, Rick.
And like I said, I've done the Crusader one before. I have to look at my thing, see what I named it under. I thought it was public domain or whatever characters, but I couldn't find it earlier today when it was high noon. Oh yeah, and just so everybody knows, there's going to be no high noon tomorrow. I will be out doing. I have stuff I have to do tomorrow, so I'll be out for that. However, I will be back tomorrow night for After Dark. So is the Black Terror free to use? Could I make a comic and bring him back? As long as it's a public domain version, yeah.
Yeah, anything new, right?
Yeah. Hello, Arlene. How are you?
Yeah, you can make a new thing as long as it's based off the old thing. If somebody else made something else, you wouldn't have access to that.
Right.
Ooh, this is reminiscent of that image that you made with the whiskey glass. I like that.
What's going on with this guy, John?
He's trying to give the buckler some reasonable advice.
Ah.
The buckler's not one for reasonable advice, though.
I wouldn't think he would be.
But it is good advice.
Right.
Right now he's tied up in the buckler's basement. The buckler's talking to him. This is after he got kicked in the face. So the buckler's kind of got him a little bit repaired. He got a little bandage on his head, on his jaw. The buckler's not pure evil.
No?
Bullet says though he should find the last issue and just start continuing the story.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's looking good. Which page is this, John?
29.
Yeah, and you're doing them out of order, right?
Yeah.
The coloring?
Why?
Just,
Why?
how many pages left to go in coloring?
I have about 19 pages to color already, still.
Okay. And Polar Twilight's all done, right?
Yep.
Really?
Pencil, ink, and colored?
It's not lettered.
It's not lettered?
No.
Okay.
But it is penciled, inked, and colored, yes.
Well, that's good.
Cool.
I take it you're going to letter it yourself?
Yeah. I'm not going to let you letter it.
I didn't mean me. Yeah, I'm just saying. Instead of paying somebody other than yourself to do it.
No, I got to pay myself first.
Yeah.
That's the key to being rich, Rick. That's what everybody tells you. If you watch like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or they say the first thing that rich people do is they pay themselves in a nice hefty savings account.
I pay my kids $1 or $2 sometimes.
For what?
For working in the shop.
Oh, that's true. I did see your kids helping you work.
Only $1 or $2?
Well, it's not a big profit margin.
Yeah, true.
I need money.
Hey, one of your kids helped you set up your driving stuff too, right?
Yeah, they help me. We do stuff together, so it's not helping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to benefit them in the long run, so.
No, it's just doing stuff, with people that you know. You don't get paid for doing stuff.
Yeah.
My buddy comes over and we're, working in the garage. I'm not going to pay him for it.
It's communal.
Well, I just mean, his kids helping on setting up the driving thing and all that. They're going to benefit from that by helping it do it. So,
Unless you got some sort of a skill that I desperately need and is very valuable, like for instance, you own a tractor and I need a field done be plowed, then maybe I'll break out some money if I know you.
Sometimes when there's something really kind of crappy I don't want to do, I'll pay them to do it.
Yeah.
So it's that time. You want to promote
Sometimes,
anything?
obviously, you don't do it with kids, but sometimes you pay people in beer, like if you need help moving.
Yeah, people they take more than silver and gold. They'll take pizza and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Okay.
Elric says, Metal, I missed a lot of the Final Fantasy role-playing games. How many times has Cross nearly wiped out the party? No times have I nearly
Why
wiped
do you
out...
say that? You almost killed one of your party members before.
Yeah, well, again, not my fault. The dice's fault. I blame the dice. I'm cursed. What can I say? My character is cursed. Cursed by the dice.
Yeah. Dillard, you missed it. He almost killed Travis's character.
Why did you do that, Rig?
The dice did it. The dice. I will always blame the dice.
I bet you right now that if I ask Metal to elaborate on the situation, there's probably a way that you could have not even had him at risk of dying.
Oh, yeah, because they were fighting a T-Rex, and the thing is huge. It's like 3x3 squares. He could have just, with his movement, go to the other side of the T-Rex.
Yeah, that sounds like a Piper move, alright.
Instead, he decided to huddle right between Dargonis and his Chocobo, so if he missed, there was like one of two ways it could have went.
Rick.
Yeah. Okay, yes, I could have possibly did that. But, with me...
In my defense, I didn't think of it.
Well, there's that. But there is the fact that, although with me, I'm a dice are janked in me, so I should probably do that.
Yeah, if you keep critically missing, you should, plan that you might critically miss and position yourself accordingly.
Haven't you learned by now that your dice rolls ain't the greatest? You don't have the best luck in the world?
Yeah, we're 18 episodes in.
Yeah, and I think almost every single one I've had a critical miss. If not every single one, I think maybe skip one or two. But the first 2 or 3 times that we did this, it certainly made up for it.
Shame.
But anyways, Dillard, anything you want to promote?
Yeah. I don't know. What do I got to promote? The Buckler.
Okay.
So the Buckler, right?
The Buckler, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good thing to promote.
Mallet, anything you would like to promote?
Nah, not tonight. My Etsy store. Buy something from me.
That's right. I got an Etsy store.
Nah, I said it first. Don't buy anything from him.
He got the dibs.
His stuff is trash.
Oh,
Not
damn.
Really.
I already agreed to not try to promote my Etsy store, and you gotta just bury the knife wound into my rib.
Well, you don't have this
I'm
pristine wood craftsmanship that you can sell.
That I can sell. No, John's Etsy store is very nice. You should buy from him before me.
I mean, I've gotten stuff from his Etsy store. It's not the best quality wood craftsmanship.
Wow.
Kimberly says, "Oh, it's on. Get him, Dillard."
Shame me.
I think somebody's getting timed out when they go to Mallet stream next.
No, just you, Rick.
Just me.
Just for that comment.
Hey,
that eagle.
No. That was Timothy's comment.
I think it was you, actually.
In the chat, he says, "Oh, it's on. Get him, Dillard."
Oh, well. Yeah, but you said
I said that Timothy's probably going to get timed out. I was joking.
Yeah, you're trying to tell him who to time out. Like, you don't tell him what to do.
I know, man.
I'm not
Does that look
trying.
like salt and pepper hair? Because I don't want to do like actual salt and pepper looking hair. Like I just want to do a shades of gray. Does that look good enough?
Is this like a porno thing?
A porno? What?
Shades of Grey? Isn't that some badly written stuff?
No, that's 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that's written expertly.
Oh, okay.
Anything Metal would like to promote?
Yeah, people probably see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but they can go to xdynamischaos.com where I upload all the stories connected within that universe. I actually recently put up another prose chapter of the main story. It's on like chapter 18 now, if people can find it on the site, if they want to read that. So, there's plenty of things on the site that you can partake in. And if you want to support it, I do put the top 10 lifetime donors on the side so you can brag that you're there and show off to people.
Who would you show it off to?
Oh.
Okay.
Whoever goes to the site.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
It's bragging rights, that's all it is.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on the panel.
You're welcome, Ray.
It's been great having you all here on. It's been a while since there's been so many people on at one time, I think. Especially
a
while more.
Oh, shut up now.
And of course, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming by, chatting, and all that. It's been great having everybody.
What about Eagle? Are you thanking Eagle?
Yes, I am thanking Eagle as well.
How about Cat?
Yes, I'm thanking Kat.
Thanking her enough to remove her picture from your site?
If she wants me to. So, yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. We will be back here tomorrow night, Cos Comics After Dark. I'll be, of course, drawing one of my characters up tomorrow. So we'll catch you all later. Good night. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it is for you.